Welcome back. More turbulence on air. Hillary, this morning, a brand new poll shows Bernie Sanders of Vermont is closing in, to some extent, on the Democratic frontrunner. He trails her in Iowa by just 7 points.
And on the other side, Dr. Ben Carson closing the GOP gap, trailing Donald Trump by only 5 points in the latest Iowa poll.
So what could this mean for the 2016 race? Let's ask the host of Fox News Study. He'll be on today. Chris Wallace, thanks for being with us.
Hey, guys.
Well, let's first talk about the Democratic side. Does this signal more trouble for the Clinton campaign?
Oh, absolutely. 37%. She has lost a third of her support just since May. Now, it's interesting. In the poll, the majority of Democrats say they're not upset about the email scandal. And it may not be, per se, the details of the scandal, but I think it's just the whole sense that, you know, she has had one position and then she fell back to another. She's been defensive and evasive about it. And you know, she used to be up over 50%. She's now at 37%, which means that a majority of caucus goers, and they obviously all know her, she's got 100% support, are now saying that they wouldn't vote for her. That's got to be very concerning. And you got to figure that at the vice president's residence here in Washington, alarm bells went off as soon as this poll came out for Joe Biden. Hey, you might actually be able to win this
So
thing.
what's the likelihood of Biden getting in? If you had to bet on it today, how would you calculate the odds?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I was that good at betting, I'd quit this job and go to Las Vegas.
Good point.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's really a tough call for him. On the one hand, I know he wants to be president. I know he thinks he'd be a good president. On the other hand, do you want to go out a loser? And in addition to that is just the personal factor, which I don't think you can overstate, which is, you know, he's still suffering from the tragic loss of his son, Beau. He was on a call with donors this week, and he said, you know, I got to go into this with my whole heart and soul, and they're both pretty banged up now. Chris,
onto the Republican side of the ledger, that Des Moines Register poll had a lot of folks going up and a lot of folks going down. One of those going down was Governor Jeb Bush, dropped down a few points as Ben Carson and Donald Trump continued to stay strong. He also lost 3 of his fundraisers recently. There's a lot of back and forth on that. What do you make of him losing those fundraisers and what it says about the campaign?
Well, you know, I don't know the inner workings, and I don't know. They say, well, they're not going to work for the campaign; they're going to work for the super PAC. But it certainly doesn't sound good. And as you point out, he's now down at 6%. This is the man that everybody thought was going to be the front runner for the Republican nomination. Now at 6% in Iowa. Trump is at 23%, I believe it is. Carson's at 18%. He's doing badly, but frankly, so are all of the governors and senators, the career politicians. I mean, more than 40% of Iowa caucus goers say they want either Trump or Carson. They have about one thing in common, and that is that neither of them has served a day in public life.
Good point.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie making some fiery remarks about immigration, saying he's going to use the FedEx approach and track immigrants the same way you track packages. He's going to be a guest on your show today, also a presidential candidate, of course. Also, you have China and the economy. You have a couple of guests on that. Liz Ann Saunders, the Senior Vice President, Chief of Investment Strategies for Charles Schwab and Company, and Nicholas Lardy, Senior Fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics. Chris Wallace, thank you so much for your time today. We will be watching.
Anna, that looks like a really good show. I think I'll watch it.
Yeah. I hope you're watching.
Get a cup of coffee. Thanks, Chris.
We will be watching,
Bye, guys.
Chris. Thank you.